Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to the Zaytrics Podcast. I'm Dr. Ali. I have 13 years of experience in developing AI and blockchain solution. Today we have a wonderful guest by the name of Zeeshan. So Zeeshan has been working in the data and AI field for past 4 years. He's been working as a data engineer in Department of Education in Australia. And today we'll talk more about ChatGPT and LangChain and how they can be integrated together in different applications. What are the challenges and how we can use it in different fields like academia as well as in production. So welcome Zishan to this Zaytrics podcast. So let's first just briefly introduce yourself so that the listener can understand what are your, experiences and what you have done so far in your life. Over to you.
Thanks, Ali.
Yeah.
First, I want to thank you for inviting me to your podcast. My name is Zeeshan. I have done most of my studies in Pakistan, matriculation from Sawabi, my FSc from Islamic College, Peshawar. Then I have done bachelor's in engineering sciences from GT. Then I came to Australia and for an year I did not study, basically wondering what I should study. So the field of AI that kind of interests me very much because it was hot topic of every institute and every like student as well. So I chose AI and started
Mm-hmm.
doing masters in it. After completing my masters, I start doing a job as a data engineer here in
Mm-hmm.
South Australia. So currently I'm an employee as a data engineer.
That's very wonderful. So, Zishan, since you mentioned that AI is something that you got fascinated with, so what do you think that why AI is so hyped up these days? What do you think in the industry as well as in academia? Why it's so much hype? Is this really worth the why hype, or is it something, I mean, overrated or something like that?
Yeah, so basically, it's with every technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we have a look at the previous technologies, whenever there is something new, and
Mm-hmm.
if it is interesting and it kind of is kind of people like kind of helped people as well in many ways. So it kind of fascinate public, and it's the same when I was looking for different fields. So I kind of studied a little bit of computer during my bachelor. So the
Mm-hmm.
programming aspect was quite interesting because it was all logic and everything. But with the AI, basically like most of the burden from humans are going away into computers and machines, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of good feeling for everyone. So that's like the one of the
Mm-hmm.
my kind of experience. So
Mm-hmm.
which led me to choose AI. But for industries and everything, it's still very beginning because the
Mm-hmm.
hype is still right now very real, and it is with the new tools that are coming right now. I feel like it's just the beginning of a new revolution in the industries, like the industrial revolution in 1800.
Mm-hmm.
And like if we go back, so there was like the agriculture revolution and everything. So it's
Mm-hmm.
basically the revolution of something very prominent and very new. So the hype will keep up for the coming maybe
Mm.
2 3 years as well, because it's still like we are in the beginning of this era of AI.
Yeah, of course, you're very right that AI is actually reducing the efforts. That's the first thing, that's the main use case of AI, because otherwise, if you do it via human, it would take, 100% more time than what AI would take to just, if it is a fishing industry, you have a camera and it's just sorting out salmons and other fishes. If you do it with a human, it would take like ages, and whereas AI would sort out like millions of pieces in like in less than 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, or maybe an hour, but a human may not be able to do it. So yeah, I agree with you that with the revolution, or you can say with the evolution, obviously AI is having an impact there. So
And even
Yeah.
Like with the way, like right now we are talking, if we look back maybe 100 years back, nobody can talk like this. Even
Yeah.
in this simple message that we are conversating with each other,
Hmm.
at the core of it there is AI, and a very simple AI. For example, if we are talking with each other, so the
Hmm.
video get compressed. If we want to have
Hmm.
the subtitles to it, so the AI is at magic over there as well. So these
Hmm.
are like, previously it would take like maybe
Hmm.
days and months to convey the same amount, not the same amount, but a simple message from one person to another person's. Like, I'm here sitting 500 miles away from you,
Hmm.
5,000 miles away, sorry,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we can somehow communicate with each other. That's just like, at the core of it is a very simple AI logics that are at display. So it has somehow minimized the human effort up to, with time wise, it has minimized the effort into milliseconds. And
Yeah.
with the data, it's like we are communication with a large amount of data as well. Like
Yeah.
previously you would write down things in letters and things, but right now we can like somehow communicate a lot of stuff just
Hmm.
because of AI.
Yeah, with a click of button with a video, you can actually get the captions using the speech to text and all those stuff. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So since we are talking about the tools, one of the tools that has been, I mean, dominated or fascinating a lot of community is ChatGPT. So, so what do you think about ChatGPT? What are its use cases? Where you can use it, and what are, I would say, the most important things that, in fact, I come from academia as well as industry background. So in academia, ChatGPT is not that. Uh, I mean, it's considered a good tool, but because of plagiarism and all those stuff, it's not considered as a good thing to start with. So, what do you think about it?
Yes, basically ChatGPT is one of the like the finest achievement of AI until
Hmm.
today. Basically, so if we somehow look at the evolution of ChatGPT itself as well, it started
Hmm.
in somehow 2017.
Hmm.
At the core of it is AI and machine learning. Inside, like the NLP and everything's come into it to build the ChatGPT, which is, for me, I kind of use it daily, so it is very helpful.
Hmm.
With the help of which we can somehow chat with computers, and it is like so well trained on a large amount of data.
Hmm.
With the help, we can somehow uh, get a lot of knowledge in milliseconds. And with the industries right now, like it has enormous effect in the, not in years, it is already in display right now as well. For example, it if I can give you a use case example of ChatGPT, so there is an application which is called Databricks. You
Hmm.
might have used like an account and a Jupyter notebook, or maybe
Hmm.
Google Colabs, where we do the coding and everything. With the Databricks, it's the same kind of environment, but it is powered with machine learning and everything. So they have this AI assistant which is built on the
Hmm.
GPT model.
Hmm.
So with the help of which you can somehow write the code. If you want to
Hmm.
change the code from SQL into Python, you just need to ask the AI assistant to change this code into Python. If there are any errors, you can remove the error. If you want to implement another logic, you just need to write it down, and it will communicate your logic into formulas, into functions. So this is just like one of the use cases. And for
Hmm.
us, like in the industry,
Hmm.
it is like, I don't know if a lot of people are using it, but like I use it a lot during work as well. And if I'm doing something at home, I use ChatGPT for my learning. If I'm brainstorming some ideas, I use ChatGPT and stuff like that. Like for example, there are like with this ChatGPT, like there are a lot of plugins with the help of which you can somehow, if you can imagine something, you can, it kind of add your imagination. If you have created some maybe a PowerPoint presentation in your computer, you can give that to ChatGPT, somehow change it by talking to it. And there are Canva plugins in it. There are like PPT plugins in ChatGPT, where you just tell GPT to convert them
Hmm. Yeah.
into slides, and it will convert that. Beside that, you can somehow create like whatever you have in mind. You just write it down, and it can create beautiful images as well. And
Mm-hmm.
besides, like with the sales industries, with the customer service, it is very helpful,
Mm-hmm.
because it can provide like personalized customer service if it knows the customer history.
Mm-hmm.
So it can help in that. Plus, with the health industry,
Mm-hmm.
it can help with the medical. There is a lot of documentation in the medical.
Billing.
So, for
Yeah.
example, there are people who are just looking at a patient would come with hundreds of documents, so it would take maybe days for them. But if
Yeah.
you can just simply take pictures with the vision capability of ChatGPT, you can convert that into doc. You can somehow chat with the documents inside ChatGPT, so it can recommend things and make stuff easy for the
Mm-hmm.
people working in the health sector. Like as you mentioned in the education sector, like most of the lecturer, I feel like they are not realizing the potential of ChatGPT right
Mm-hmm.
now. They feel like the students might cheat on exams, but with the AI, like there need to be a specific somehow formula to let the student use ChatGPT, but
Mm-hmm.
somehow create the exams in a such a way so that they can still use their thinking in it. So
Mm-hmm.
with the academic, you are right. There is the plagiarism and everything. Yeah, but it is the game changing in the field of
Mm-hmm.
AI, ChatGPT.
Yeah, the good thing that you have mentioned, yeah, like in healthcare and in customer support, I mean, you can use it anywhere. So just to give you an example, we work on a very these kind of cases a lot. So for example, if a legal company comes to us and they want, I mean, in legal domain, the same issue, there are a lot of documents and you have to process it to actually build up a case, right? So in that case, actually it has to take into account, you have to do the reading, all those stuff. With chat gpt or langchain model, what you can do is you can just supply the document and it would come up with a story for you that you can, obviously you have to edit it later on, but it would reduce your effort. Similar is the case with the customer support. We have worked with many cases in which actually the large corporation, they do have all the information on their pdfs, or there would be some documents whereby they have all the information, but sometimes they cannot relay that information because they have a lot bunch of information, but their developer are a different team. So obviously they are relaying in between, there is some kind of a gap or ambiguity in between, and this is the reason why you sometime it get missed. So with chat gpt or maybe langchain models you can use, so actually you can build a model, I mean, based on their data that they already have, and then let the customer do support do the talking as well. So yes, you are very right. And also in the healthcare, same scenario. So healthcare documentation is a lot of documentation, and then you have to, I mean, actually go across and see what exactly is what, and then it takes up a lot of time, and due to which, as you know, in the US as well as in Australia, the same thing would happen. The healthcare facilities sometimes get delayed because there is a lot of manual effort. And I see recently I've seen that in healthcare, actually healthcare has not adopted that much of AI or technology, I would say. Not in fact AI, in fact technology, I would also say. They are still living in, you can say, 1980s or maybe 2000 era of technology, but they haven't, because of privacy and all those other aspects. But I still believe I'm a very much advocate of saying that AI is something that can be used in can be adopted in any domain, and it would not uh, supersede human being. It would obviously be a tool that would assist human and reduce their, I mean, reduce their cost, and in fact increase their capability. That's the main
Yeah,
goal of it. Yeah.
yeah. With the like as you mentioned, the somehow removing human capabilities from workspace. It's not like in the near future. Like
Hmm.
with the AI, when people talk, they somehow talk that this is some artificial being which can do like somehow override humans. Like
Hmm.
right now, it's like in a technical terms, it's just a model to do certain like specific tasks with
Hmm.
intelligence. Like it can do that specific task much better, much faster
Hmm.
than humans. But
Hmm.
they in the AI world, they normally mention like AI and AGI. So
Yeah.
with the AGI is artificial general intelligence.
Mm.
So most of like their effort is towards the AGI, so
Mm.
that they can build somehow models which can do every task
Yeah.
with the in the like. And as you were talking in the with the chat gpt, like in the industries, they have like it right now have capabilities to do data analysis for you as well,
Mm.
which is like you can just type things and it will look into the data and it will
Mm.
give you insights from it, and it is like very helpful in that scenario as well.
Yeah, and since you have mentioned the data analytics part of it, just to give you an example, which I just recently was working on it, and before I was working on it, the problem with data analytics when you're dealing with large corporate, they have a lot of data. Now,
Yeah,
the CEO is not a technical person, or the you can say the higher ups, high C-level suit people, they are generally not that tech savvy. So actually the biggest problem of data analytics or data science is actually presenting that information in a way that these laymen could understand the data. Before, like I would say 5 6 years ago, what we were doing was showing graph, making correlation, all those things, but these correlation actually some human has to understand, and which is obviously not easy if you present a person with 10 graphs. And I mean, how would a layman understand? Not even a layman, if he is a technical guy, even that, since the data is so much big, how can he uh, understand the concept? So with chat gpt, like you said, that you can provide the data and it can give you humanized kind of output, and with humanized output you can say like something like that, like 5 6 years ago I built a system in which there was the same case. At that time obviously the chat gpt was not there, but we were just trying to make an understandable output in an raw plain english rather than using some technical jargons. So we used to give an output in which a human uh, C-suite executive can understand what
yeah.
exactly you're doing. And it took, at that time, because the technology was not there, we it took some time for us to develop. But now with chat gpt, obviously these kind of decision making and these kind of assistance in decision making can help a lot, and it's not of a big deal down now. Before it was obviously a big deal. So yeah, you're right about that
Yeah,
aspect.
and being like from a developer perspective, it
Hmm.
is like I feel like the time of coding is already over. A person understands like these models,
Hmm.
specifically the generative AI models like ChatGPT. Like
Hmm.
previously, I was not a too much of a coder. I have like I can make logics, but the coding was a very kind of very technical language, which kind of required a lot of time to learn and things. But with
Hmm.
ChatGPT, if you have any logic in your mind, you can ask him, he can create good functions for you. And if
Hmm.
you have like specific case of problem solving, it's
Hmm.
like very easy for anyone to solve. Specifically from the developer perspective, if you are somehow creating web pages, which is also AI generated, it generated in 10 minutes
Hmm.
right now. And beside this, like with the data analysis, you create pipelines, you create
Hmm.
like SQL queries and everything. So previously, you would somehow look at the internet and take it would take a lot of time to just like look for one solution. You would read like specific examples of people solving those issues. But with ChatGPT, it will somehow, if you give him a code, it will look at the code. If there are any errors, it will tell you you have this error in this code. Even if you ask him, this code is taking a lot of time, so it will tell you if you can do this, it can be optimized and stuff like that. So from developer's perspective,
Yeah.
it is everything is just in the brain for developer if they want to like do developer
Yeah.
things.
And another aspect that, since you have mentioned the developer as well, so yes, I agree with you with development. Yes, obviously, uh, it helps, but the important aspect of it is basically we have to be careful at that. I would recommend, when I generally give this tool to any developer, I generally say that initial, if you're a fresh graduate, do your code yourself, it will
Yeah.
build up your brain. I mean, your logic building in your brain. You would be street smart if you do it yourself, and then later on use the. I mean, after say 6 months of or a year of experience, then obviously you can use that technology. And I agree with you. And
Yes,
another as
absolutely.
yeah, another aspect that with ChatGPT, I come across a lot of customers, so I know that there is one problem you would say with ChatGPT is basically, if you use OpenAI, for example, in development, you are putting your data on their server, because you have to,
Yeah.
if you use OpenAI, you are transmitting the document on their server. And because of privacy, GDPR and HIPAA compliance, I mean, if we are in healthcare as well, so then it becomes a problem, because
Yeah.
you don't want, because of the privacy concerns, you don't want your data to be on their server, rather than you want it on your server. So in that case, what do you think, what would be the strategy, if you have any, or if you have used any, what strategies do you use in that particular case, or you opt for some other mechanism in that particular case?
Like for if I have like the same case, I normally use like by examples. Like for example, I would not put that document, but I will somehow put the logic into the chat GPT so that it can not have the data that I have, but it can have somehow a different data which I
Mm,
can do modification on chat GPT and somehow implement that on my system. So
mm,
yes, you are right. If there are confidential reports and stuff, you can't put that on the chat
mm,
GPT because it can and it's on their cloud. If you somehow like they are like they kind of talked very much about the security aspect. If you I listen to Sam Altman when he
yeah.
conducts some interviews and he really take this serious. But everybody
Mm,
knows if you upload anything, he can see it. So
yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't want to see some stuff like by the company, so you can't upload that. So for that specific like purpose, you can take like use case of by examples. Like you can somehow take the logic into GPT, solve it, and then implement that on the local computers.
And also, I think so. The other aspect, I mean, yes, you can do that. And also you can use LangChain. I think so. LangChain is one
Yeah,
language model which are very much equivalent to ChatGPT. And there are many offline models like GPT for all, and there are many offline models where the data resides on your server rather than the ChatGPT, and their performance is almost the same. But it comes, obviously, it comes with other challenges as well. But
yeah,
yes, with OpenAI, one scheme is you can some kind of do the encryption, or maybe not the encryption, maybe hide some information, some private information to chat gpt. But if the other case, you can always go to langchain based models, which are pretty much private, and that information, because you're right, that data goes to OpenAI. Then as
yeah,
of now, they have privacy. I mean, they are saying that this is privacy thing, but the actual, we know that there are a lot of leaks. I mean, previously in
yeah,
Google as well as in others. So when you have the data, you can play with the data later on, and you can literally sell it later on. So
yeah,
this aspect is very important in particularly the cases where the data is private. So yeah, I agree.
absolutely.
Yeah. So uh, I mean, in terms of one thing that I want to know about Chat GPT is basically, you mentioned that you use images as well in Chat GPT, or maybe other things as well. So what other use cases other than, I mean, the developer thing and other thing that what do you use most frequently other than that?
Yeah, like with the chat GPT, you can somehow customize your own GPT as well. For
Mm,
example, if I'm a writer and I
mm,
write in a certain way, and if I have written a lot of things and I need to like somehow refigure it out so that it can match my previous writing, so you can somehow train your own GPT so that you will give him a tone, your own tone, the language understanding, like who can understand this language and stuff like that, and you can customize your own GPT for writing purpose as well. Beside this, you can customize your own GPT for development purposes. Like if you want to convert the SQL code to Python or do other development, so you don't need to ask him again and again. You just give him the code, and he is already been trained because you have asked, you have tell him before that I need this whenever I give you an input. So it somehow converted directly to whatever rules you have implemented on him. But the best part of it is, like normally if we are training a model of NLP, so it requires a lot of Python coding and then a lot of data and like interacting in the Python language and stuff like that. With the GPT, you are just conversating with the computer in your natural language, which is English, and you can customize your own GPTs in it. So that's like the best part of it. And like with
Mm,
the images, I think people do not take it pretty seriously, but it's like giving this GPT eyes, because if I have any problems, so you can
mm,
take a picture of it, and it will somehow give you suggestion of what you need to do in this scenario. Like if, for example, if you have a camera which you don't know what its name,
mm,
you should know its name. A little bit information is
mm,
needed. But if, for example, there is a plant, you can just picture that plant and you don't know
mm,
the name of it. It will name the plant and stuff like that. And that
mm,
capability can, it has the vision capability is so much. Like right now it's underestimated, but it is so valuable. For example,
mm,
if you, as I mentioned, the plant, if you don't know the name, but if the plant has any issues, if it has a pale color or something, so if it is trained well enough on those issues as well, so it can
mm,
change the agriculture industries with it as well. It can somehow tell you what's wrong with the plant and stuff like that. And other use cases of vision can be implemented with the same way, like this one.
yeah, I agree. And I mean, since you, as you mentioned, that you can actually prompt it. I mean, in terms of coding, we generally prompt
Yeah.
model that can be OpenAI or LangChain model, whereby we add some prompt to make it more concrete in giving the answer, because sometimes it gives very raw answers. So to make it
Yeah.
more specific to certain category, you can always do that, like in for an authors or the people who are actually content writer, they might have different kind of response, they might want different kind of response. And for a
Yeah.
legal person, maybe if he's searching for certain information, he might need jurisdictions and all those stuff other than the answer as well. So yeah, you are very right.
With the
Yeah.
with the like, as you said, it generalizes things. But
Hmm.
as you, like, you somehow chat with it, it kind of learns your way of thinking as well. Like, what if you are getting certain responses from it, you kind
Hmm.
of change his responses of what you
Hmm.
need from him. So it kind of learned that. For
Hmm.
example, if I ask him any questions like what is a TV, and it somehow generalizes the answer, and I don't like the answer, I make modification in do this in this, include this in this, include this in this. And if you ask him again, it will
Hmm.
not ask for the because it's like in the reinforced learn, specifically if you are in the same chat. So it
Hmm.
kind of learn its way
Hmm.
of not giving you more troubles of like modifying it again and again. And beside this, like with the chat GPT, you can upload a whole PDF document. It can summarize the document for you. It has
Hmm.
like their own GPT plugins. It can provide you a temporary like cloud storage where you can upload your documents. You can somehow copy the link from there and paste it in the GPT, and now you have your whole book or any document with him. You can just ask him what is on this page, what is on this page, and it will give you overall overview of everything that is in that book. And I have like used it personally for summarizing books as well. Like if I'm reading a book and I kind of don't like a chapter in it, I upload it to ChatGPT. It can give me a very concrete and brief overview of the whole chapter. So it
Summarizing.
it added in that as well.
Yeah. So just to summarize what we have talked, I mean, it's been a wonderful conversation. So basically, what we have discussed today is basically how ChatGPT can be used in different domains. Not only ChatGPT, you can always use LangChain model because of the privacy concern. If you're not into OpenAI, you don't want your data to be on OpenAI servers, so you can always use LangChain model, and it can do a lot of tasks in every kind of industry, not only in computer science industry. It can work in healthcare, legal tech, maybe customer support. I mean, everywhere you can use ChatGPT, and its only purpose is to facilitate their end user rather than I mean, removing the use of a human being. So basically, yeah, this is and also with ChatGPT, you can do a lot of things other than just using it for getting the answer. You can also use it as a developer to generate code, and also you can use it for analyzing complex data. I mean, for example, like you have a Excel sheet whereby you want to understand what's in it, and it has like 100 plus attributes. So you can just use ChatGPT to analyze it and make decision making based on this. So it was a wonderful session with you, Zishan, and thank you for being part of this session. So
All right.
yeah,
Thank you, Ali. It's nice to meet you as well. And I enjoy very much the conversation with you. And yep, it was a very fruitful conversation. Thank you.
thank